Hello students. Today I am discussing about the application layer of a WSI model in our subject computer network. We are all aware about the 7 layers in our WSI model, and the 7th layer is the application layer. I have already discussed the physical data link network and transport layer session and presentation also. These are all the protocols which supports in an application layer: FTP server, web server, DHCP, email, telnet, and DNS. First, we have to know DNS, that matches domain names with IP addresses. DNS means domain name system. HTTP, which are used to transfer data between clients or servers using a web browser. SMTP, that is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and POP, Post Office Protocol version 3, that is why this POP3, which are used to send email messages from client to server over the internet. FTP, that is File Transfer Protocol, which allows the download or upload of files between a client and server. And Telnet, which allows user to log into a host from a remote location and take control as if they were sitting in the machine. That is a virtual connection. DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, which assigns IP addresses, subnet mask, default gateways, DNS servers, etc. to users as they log in the network, right? Two types of application layer software are there. One is applications that provides the human interface, and services which establish an interface to the network where protocols provide the rules and formats that govern how data are treated. There are two types of model. One is client server model and peer-to-peer networking model. Client server model, client are the devices which request information, or they initiates the data exchange, and it can also upload data to the servers, whereas server devices are responding to the request, right? Example, if a email client on an employee computer issues a request to the email server for an unread email, this server responds by sending the email to the client. Conversation between the client and server can originate with other party. In case of peer-to-peer network model, two or more computers are connected and are able to share resources without having a dedicated server, right? In case of client server network, there is some clients and there is some dedicated server, but in case of peer-to-peer network, every end devices can function as a client or server on a peer per request basis. As per requirement, they act as a client, or sometimes they act as a server, right? These are the common port numbers which are used to exchange the data. First, we have to discuss most important part in our application layer. These are domain name system. There are several applications in the application layer of the internet model that follow the client server. The client server program can be divided into two categories: those that can be directly used by the user, such as email, and those that support other application program. The domain name system is a supporting program that is used by other programs such as email. For an example, we can say that a DNS client or server program can support an email program to find the IP address of an email recipient. A user of an email program may know the email address of the recipient. However, the IP protocol needs the IP address. The DNS client program sends a request to a DNS server to map the email address to the corresponding IP address. For example, this diagram shows that the user passes the host name to the file transfer client. The file transfer client passes the host name to the DNS client, and each computer after booting knows the address one DNS server, and the DNS client sends a message to the DNS server with a query that gives the file transfer server name using the known IP address of the DNS server. The DNS server responds with the IP address of the desired file transfer server. The DNS server passes the IP address to the file transfer client. The file transfer client now uses the received IP address to access the file transfer server, right? Basically, DNS maps the names to the IP address. This is a domain name system, and DNS is used for designing hierarchical namespace. Then what is namespace? To be unambiguous, the names assigned to machines must be carefully selected from a namespace with complete control over the binding between the names and IP addresses. In other words, the names must be unique because the addresses are unique. A namespace that maps each address to a unique name can be organized in two ways, flat or hierarchical. In a flat namespace, a name is assigned to an address. A name in this space is a sequence of characters without structure. The names may or may not have a common section. If they do, it has no meaning. The main disadvantage of a flat namespace is that it cannot be used in a large system, such as the internet, because it must be centrally controlled to avoid ambiguity and duplication. Whereas hierarchical namespace, each name is made of several parts. The first part can define the nature of the organization. The second part can define the name of the organization. And third part can define departments in the organization and so on. In this case, the authority to assign and control the namespace can be decentralized. A central authority can assign the part of the name that defines the nature of the organization and the name of the organization. The responsibility of the rest of the name can be given to the organization itself. To have a hierarchical namespace, a domain namespace was designed. In this design, the names are defined in an inverted tree structure with the root at the top. The tree can have only 128 levels, level 0 to level 127. Label, what is label? Each node in the tree has a label, which is a string with a maximum of 63 characters. The root level is a null string, that is empty string. DNS requires that children of a node, that is nodes that branch from the same node, have different labels, which guarantees the uniqueness of the domain name. These are the domain name and labels. Each node in the tree has a domain name. A full domain name is a sequence of labels separated by dots. The domain names are always read from the node up to the root. The last label is the label of the root, that is null. This means that a full domain name always ends in a null label, which means the last character is a dot because the null string is nothing. In a full qualified domain name, if a label is terminated by a null string, it is called a fully qualified domain name, or you can say FQDN. And FQDN is a domain name that contains the full name of a host. It contains all the labels, right? And partially qualified domain name, if a label is not terminated by a null string, it is called a partially qualified domain name, or you can say PQDN. A PQDN starts from a node, but it does not reach the root. It is used when the name to be resolved belongs to the same site as the client. For example, if a user at the fhda.edu site wants to get the IP address of a challenger computer, he or she can define the partial name, that is challenger. This is a PQDN, right? Domain name. A domain is a subtree of the domain namespace. The name of the domain is the domain name of the node at the top of the subtree. These are the servers. These are root server, and for example, these are all the servers which are interconnected to the root server. This is a DNS service and protocols. DNS service resolves names to the IP address. It would be difficult to remember the IP address of every website we like to visit, but we can remember names, right? And DNS helps to map from the names to the IP address. Thank you, students.